Celebrated sons on home turf.
When it comes to champions, Leicester has history. And this city knows better than most that there is more than one way to win. Be it a dominant force or an underdog fairy tale story. This place has seen it all. And today's Champion of Champions final has gone down well with the locals. The hometown hero is going up against the world number one. Nobody said it's going to be easy. The clue is in the name. Only the very best have gone all the way. Talent alone will only get you so far. So the stage is set. Two world champions who have won it all, but still want more. Because that's what separates the best from the rest.
This is one of the hardest tournaments to win on the calendar. Just ask Judd Trump. The world number one lifted the trophy in 2021, but he's fallen short in the final on 4 separate occasions. And if he's to become a 2-time champion, he's going to have to do it the hard way, as Mark Selby looks to win this tournament for the very first time. And the jester from Leicester has his hometown support right behind him. It's the best of 19, and we have the opening 9 frames coming your way this afternoon. Welcome back to the Mattioli Arena in Leicester, where we're looking forward to this fascinating final in the company of Stephen Hendry and Ken Doherty. Very good afternoon to you, gents. The Champion of Champions, it's lived up to its top billing this week, Stephen. It always delivers. How much have you enjoyed it?
It's been great. It is one of my favourite tournaments of the season, and we've had everyone that's supposed to have won their group pretty much has. We've an amazing lineup for the semi-finals. The semi-finals not as good as I thought they might be in terms of standard. Both the finalists today won their respective semi-finals quite comfortably, but I'm expecting a big match today.
Yeah, 4 world champions in those semi-finals. Yeah. 2 big names in today's final. Yeah. It's a special event, Ken.
It's a very special event, yeah, and you know, it's beautifully set up. 4-time world champion against the world number one. And yeah, both been playing some superb snooker. I think the standard this week has been really good. Yes, the semi-final didn't sort of live up to the billing. I think both, you know, sets of semi-finals were sort of just really want to get into that final, you know, today. Both have. I think they'll relax over best of idea, and I think we're going to see some fireworks today. OK, well, let's hear from Judd Trump now. The world number one is taking part in his 6th Champion of Champions final, and he's been speaking to Rob Walker.
Well, I mean, it's going to be an epic, isn't it? And I was looking on a cue tracker for your various epic matches against Mark, and I'd actually forgotten that he was the man you beat to your first ranking title way back in China in 11. I mean, that must feel like a lifetime ago, does it?
What surprises me the most is the fact that I don't think we barely met since in a final or in the latter stages of any event, really. It's very strange how kind of successful both of us have been. I think my success come right after Mark's kind of success. So even though he's still winning tournaments, we just never seem to meet. So it's nice to be able to play him again in a final. I think he's someone that is hungry and determined as ever, and is always very consistent and a very hard player to play against.
In terms of mental toughness, he's second to none, isn't he? I mean, at least level with John Higgins in terms of his resilience on the table. And presumably that's a quality you admire greatly. Yeah,
he's got a never say die attitude, really. No matter what happens in the game, he's willing to stick it out. He can score heavy. Probably one of the top 5 or 6 break builders of all time. Probably a little bit underrated in that. And he can also safety with the best of them as well. His long putting's good. Doesn't really have any weaknesses. So it's just about kind of trying to stick it out and playing your own game against him.
He's a class act, Judd Trump, world number one, but he has been short of silverware so far this season. But he is the kind of player who can just hit a run and go crazy for the next few tournaments. How do you think his game is at the minute?
He's not at his best. There's no doubt about that. He's admitted it himself. You know, he's talked about struggling with the cue a little bit, and even to the fact that if he doesn't get success soon, he's going to make a change. So he's not been at his best, but you don't get. I've said many times, you don't get to world number one without finding other ways to win and being that great competitor. And he proved that against Zhao Xintong, 2-0 down, 6 frames in a row, just reeled him off, and was by far the more complete player of that semi-final. He
said, Ken, he thinks he's playing at 10%. I mean, he's clearly not playing at 10%. You wouldn't be in a final like this if you were playing at that level. But it's great to think that he can see that there is space for improvement there.
Oh, I think there's lots of space for improvement. You know, he's not completely at ease with the cue, and of course he's playing with, you know, titanium ferrule as well. It makes it a little bit different, but yeah, he's still resilient. You know, he's still very competitive. He always has that competitive spirit, will to win. And yeah, he finds ways to win now, whereas before, like a good long time ago, he couldn't do it. But against Mark Selby, he's going to have to find that resilience, because I think Mark Selby's playing really good stuff as well.
He's talked about the new cue, and he did say if he doesn't start winning trophies soon, he's going to change the cue again. I mean, how hard is it for a player to change not just the cue, but as you said, the ferrule as well? Yeah,
I think the surprising thing for me is because he's been so dominant in the game over the last like 5 or 6 years that, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I think he just felt that he needed to fix it because of different conditions, you know, in different countries that they play in, of course, in China and Saudi. And he just thought it'd be better for the conditions. But it's hard to get used with titanium ferrule, you know, that when you've been using a brass ferrule for a long time. I mean, Stephen and I were chatting about it, and it's like completely different. But he seems to sort of getting a little bit used to it.
And he's only dropped 5 frames in his way to the final, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, he's only played 3 matches, of course, but he's got through there on his, you know, just because of simply how good he is, and the sort of years and years of winning sort of breeds that strength that even when you're not at your best, you can still find ways to win. But I said last night, a final can bring the best out of the best players, and I think both players getting through that semi, even though they weren't really pushed, were really relaxed today.
OK, let's hear from his opponent now then, Mark Selby. It's the first time Leicester has hosted the Champion of Champions, and it's the first time he's made it to the final. Rob Walker caught up with him ahead of today's showpiece.
It's incredible to think that this is only the second final that you and Judd have played, and the first was back in 11 when he won his maiden ranking title against you in China. It's mad that you've not come against each other in a final since.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know that. I remember playing him in 2011 because he had that crazy haircut and he played amazing, you know. But to play Judd in another final is going to be great. I've sort of known his family since, I don't know, since I was 16, 17. I used to practice at Willie Thorne's, and he used to come down with his mum and dad and his brother and play in the junior tournaments, and I could see the talent in him then. You knew he was always going to be very, very special. So, you know, to see him grow up and achieve what he's achieved is amazing, really. And he's such a great kid with everything he's achieved. You know, it's not gone to his head. He's still grounded, and yeah, I look forward to the occasion.
When he did beat you in 11, did you think then that he'd go on to win literally dozens and dozens of ranking titles? Did you think his success would be quite as elevated as it has been?
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, the game's hard to win any tournaments, isn't it? So, but I knew he had the talent to go on and do special things. Whether he was going to do that, you don't know, because obviously things change in life as you grow up, you know, obviously. But he's put the hours in, he's worked hard, and I always say talent only gets you so far, and if he's not putting the hours in, he wouldn't have achieved what he's achieved, no matter how much talent he's got. So, yeah, he gets everything he deserves.
He's a great champion. And, you know, he and Judd are the only 2 players to have featured in every one of the Champion Champions since we brought it back in 2013. I can't believe this is the first time he's made it to the final. It's ridiculous.
It's incredible because he's had so much success, you know, both of the players, you know, and this is only their second final. Yeah, quite incredible stat that. I think this final is really set up beautifully. You know, you got 2 of the greatest players in the game, still at the very, very top, producing wonderful snooker, but they're doing it in their own sort of imitable styles. And it's a classic match, classic setup, and it's going to be fascinating to see who wins. Is it going to be the home favourite, or is it going to be the world #1? But I think it's set up beautifully.
I'm glad Rob Walker doesn't do the interviews when I was playing, because the last thing I wanted to do was final was talk how good my opponent was. I mean, it was like compliments all over the place. A massive loving, wasn't it, between them? But like, so yeah, it's different now. But yeah, I think they've both got great respect for each other. the loving will stop when they get out there. There's no doubt about that.
A lot of mutual respect. And another remarkable fact is that this is only the second final that they've played in together. You know, given how successful they've both been and how deep in tournaments they've been going, that in itself is almost unbelievable.
It's an amazing stat, and I think it'll make the players probably look forward to this more than maybe normal. The players that have played a lot of times in finals. It makes it a little bit different, and I think Trump, the little bit of edge for Trump is want to beat Mark Selby in front of his home crowd. That's the sort of thing that would get me up for this.
Right then, let's get a prediction from the pair of you. Obviously, Judd's been here before. He's lifted the trophy. It's a new territory for Mark Selby.
It is, yeah, but I think Mark Selby is playing the better of the two. I think it's going to be tight, but I'm going to go slightly with Mark Selby.
For once, I'm agreeing with Ken. I don't like to. It's the last thing I like to do.
Hallelujah.
But I also just slightly favour Mark Selby 10-7, 10-8. Bad times, I agree with Ken. Bad times.
It'll never last. Mark Selby and Judd Trump then are the only two players to have played in every edition of this tournament since its return 12 years ago. But which one will come out on top in today's final and claim their first piece of silverware of the season? We'll get the afternoon session underway when we come back. Welcome back to Leicester, where we're all set to get this year's Champion of Champions final underway. And what a final it promises to be. Judd Trump and Mark Selby are facing each other for the 18th time, but they've only ever played each other in a final once. And that was 14 years ago when Trump won the China Open back in 2011. OK, the opening 9 frames are coming up this afternoon. And kicking us off in the commentary box are Alan McManus and David Hendon. But first, to introduce the players, here's our MC, Tahir Hadjat.
Good evening, snooker fans all around the world. Or should I say good afternoon? It could be a long evening, that's for sure, as Matchroom Multisport presents to you the final of the Sportsbet.io Champion of Champions! Well, as you can tell, it's been a long and phenomenal week here in Leicester, but now we have 2 players who've conquered every major accolade in this game. It's a best of 19 final, so without further ado, let's welcome the players into the arena. Up first, the jester from the city of Leicester, Mark Selby. His opponent, the 30-time ranking event champion, it's the ace in the pack, Judd Trump!
Mark Selby is on home soil, but in truth, both players feel at home in a major final. This is Selby's 67th final appearance in a pro event, Trump's 76th. Maybe neither's been at their best this week, but don't be surprised if the bar is raised today. It's the final of the Champion of Champions. The end begins here. The only 2 ever-present players in this great event since it was added to the calendar in 2013. The only 2 players to have made 147s in the Champion of Champions. Of course, Mark Selby, he's making his first appearance in the final of this tournament. It's Judd Trump's 6th. 9 frames this afternoon. Tournament pot success, not a lot in it, just 1% between them. Long potting favouring Trump, but it's Selby taking this one on. Alan, I know you've always been a fan of this tournament, and, well, what a final we've got.
Yeah, we certainly do. Those intros were superb as well. Everyone in the arena standing as both players came down to the floor. Yeah, it's a special event, isn't it?
1.
Judd Trump lays down the first marker. And what a pot that was.
Whatever happens today, we're guaranteed our 10th different winner of the 10 professional events staged this season thus far. I guess the big surprise is that Judd Trump is yet to be on that list. Given the success he's had these last few years, I just get the feeling he's going to play a lot better in the final than he has to get here. He's not had a century yet, but he's demonstrated that he can find different ways to win. course, as has been said already, it was that victory over Mark Selby at the 2011
16.
China Open that was the start of it all.
17.
Good split. Not ideal. So lots of work to do. Going to have to work off the blue perhaps for the time being. Yeah, that's a nice little rub. Just get rid of that red near where Judd stood. And should be good to go.
In terms of their paths to the final, Mark Selby's only played 2 more frames than Trump, but he's actually been out on the table for 3 more hours than him. Of course, we had a couple of lengthy frames last night. It's one of the few trophies, that, isn't it, that Mark Selby's yet to get his name on.
Yeah, that was a brilliant shot.
33.
Yeah, so within 2 or 3 shots, it's now a golden chance. He could just nudge that red away from the black spot or near it. Just nudge it away, and a terrific start.
41. 42.
'I think these big finals and these huge events, we always build them up, and rightly so. But for Judd,
49.
it's business as usual.
50.
Well, his highest break in
57.
the first 3 rounds, 84. But this is already looking good to be a frame-winning contribution.
58. 65. 66.
Well, this is the way to start a final, isn't it? First chance. Of course, Mark Selby took on the long red, didn't get it. And Judd Trump immediately has come to the party. Frame ball. It sort of feels like the best frame he's played in the
71.
tournament, which bodes well clearly for the day ahead. He's, of course, up against a Leicester man in Leicester, but there's so much respect and admiration amongst the crowd here for Judd Trump. They're all snooker fans. You want to see a good match, and it already is.
$72. 79. 80.
'Always looking the first frame as well to just get a sense of how the bed is playing. It looks lovely. That last shot, just spinning it out
88.
of the low end of the table there. Looks terrific conditions-wise.
$96.
Well, this is the way over time so many of the great players start a final. It just shows how well prepared they are, how focused they are,
96.
how determined they are that it's going to be their day. Judd Trump for his first century of the tournament. What a start for the world number one.
$103. 104.
Oh, pity the cue ball didn't run out of baulk, but what a shot that was.
Judd Trump, 111.
Perfect start
and the
for Judd Trump in this eagerly anticipated Champion of Champions final. A break of 111 to lead Mark Selby 1-0. So we're underway then, and Judd Trump underway in style in this
second frame.
Champion of Champions final. Mark Selby had the go at the long red. That's his only contribution of that first frame. Now had 18 centuries in the tournament. The record in this event 31, so we're a little way off that, but I'm sure there'll be more to come today. Remember when Trump won the World Championship, that 2019 final? I mean, he was just unplayable for most of the 2 days.
Yeah, the plant's just set on the top jaw, so have to be really thin to make it. Ah, nicely done.
1.
Mark Selby's made 3 centuries in the tournament, and has also won the 3 longest frames.
6.
So that just shows the all-round game of the 4 times world champion.
Seven. Twelve. 13.
That's a big day, of course, for the referee, Tatiana Wollaston, who lives here in Leicester with her
20.
husband, Ben, of course, who's a main tour player. First time referee in the Champion of Champions final, and indeed a final here
21.
in Leicester. And we're in very safe hands.
$28. 29. 36.
Yeah, it's handy that I think the red on the left wing will go to the right corner as well, so still plenty reds in the open.
$44. 45. 52. 53.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Yeah, just getting back up and just having a think about this. He's going to need one of the 6 together. But the way he started, his cue ball has been pristine. So
58.
Looking for a nice angle.
59.
Not perfect, so he's going to have to use his power. Almost kind of stun come screw shot, this one. Haha, beautiful. Beautiful.
66.
Well, it's a case of anything you can do, isn't it? Judd Trump with the century, and this blue and Mark Selby in a single visit will secure frame 2.
$72.
It's kind of weird that they've somehow avoided each other in the latter stages of tournaments all this time, but thank goodness they've come together today based on this start.
$78. $79. $86.
Well, we've had 2 best of 19 finals, both on ITV, where we've had a total of 8 centuries, and they've each played in one. Judd Trump in this event in 2019 against Neil Robertson, and of course earlier this year Mark Selby and John Higgins in that epic Tour Championship battle in Manchester.
$94. $95.
This is why you can't afford to tune in late to these big finals. What a start. Judd Trump a century in frame 1. Mark Selby with a ton of his own in frame 2.
102. Mark Selby, 102.
102, great response, great start to this heavyweight clash here in Leicester today. Judd Trump and Mark Selby already all square at 1 each. Welcome back. An explosive start to the Champion of Champions final. Sometimes these matches,
Judd
you know, they
Trump
take a bit of time to get going, but not this one. Judd Trump 111, Mark Selby 102. Well, he took on a long red, didn't he? First shot, frame one to this pocket, didn't get it and didn't get another shot. So that one is crunched in.
1.
Yeah, the natural path with topspin and playing the pot in the yellow's no good to him.
Mark Selby 1.
As usual, trying to encourage Judd to play into the right half of the reds, because that's where most of the danger lies. Oh, this needs to sit. This needs to sit.
Ball. Nimis. Mark Selby 4.
And he's left it.
One. Six. Seven. Mark Selby 7.
Yeah, just mindful of not playing it with extreme pace and arcing the cue ball past them. And of course, there was so much detail to the positional side of it that just took half an eye off the pot. That was enough.
1. Four.
Yeah, the way the Reds are, this is a key shot now, almost playing for a sort of brown to right corner.
Five.
mistake, just deciding to, bide his time for now.
Ten. Eleven.
Well, Trump certainly enjoys this event, doesn't he? This is his 6th final, albeit he has been runner-up 4 times, so his victory came in 2021. Still looking for his first title of 2025. Equally, though, say he won today, it wouldn't be any surprise if, we get to the World
16.
Championship. He's won another 4 or 5 tournaments. That's the sort of player he's been these last few years, just looking for that initial one this season.
$17.
Yeah, that was a better shot than it looked, especially if the pink spot's covered. Which it looks to be.
$23.
He also eyeballed the 2 reds
24.
sort of in the middle of the 6. Potential plant to right corner.
$30. $31. $37. $38.
You're obviously just concerned about, after the plant you pot the pink, where does the pink then go? So he may go low in this plant and get the cue ball back up table almost out of harm's way. Yeah, deciding to play the split. Oh, the dream result. That's perfect.
44.
He did well there, didn't he? Just had a little perusal of what was on offer, picked the correct option, as he normally does. What a
45.
final already.
Yeah, and I guess we've seen the first real mistake. Mark Selby into the reds from the black, missing the black to offer up this chance. Judd Trump said he was playing at 10% during the tournament. Well, it's fair to say he's significantly improved
51.
already in the final. Of course, they hold themselves to high standards, don't they? And certainly in the title match, they would expect to play
52.
well. They would hope to play well, and they'd be determined to do so. But it's these frames where there's been an error that feel particularly big. Trump set to punish. And there is enough on for a third century.
58.
Most important thing, seal the frame, and this is the ball to do it.
$59. 65.
I want to make sure this one. Selby would play on from here, I'm sure. 3 snookers needed. Not now, though.
66. $73. Judd Trump.
Well, the red stays out. It
73.
wasn't easy, but he's
And
done the
back.
job. He punished the error from Mark Selby. A swift 73 from Judd Trump. He looks bang on it here, and he leads 2-1.
Thank you,
So
frame
Mark
4.
Selby
Mark Selby to
going into the Reds missed that black, and Judd Trump made 73. And after just 29 minutes of play, this is the last frame before the first interval of the Champion of Champions final. Just a reminder, they're going to play 9 frames, so someone will be in front at the halfway stage.
Oh, it's the one that's been troubling him of late, but not today.
1.
Ooh, what a pot. That was clever of Judd leaving the angle in the red for top side of blue, because he knew the pink
Thank you.
might
7.
impede the 2 loose reds. So, above the blue line.
8.
All right, he's got something to work with, but It'll be one cushion, full power. But even Judd Trump is going to be busy getting reds open. Let's see. Yeah, it was like hitting a brick wall, wasn't it?
13. Judd Trump, 13.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to see how they can resolve this without a re-rack.
Selby's looking at Trump. And Judd Trump doesn't want to re-wrap. Went for double with safety in mind. It's interesting that, isn't it? It's kind of almost like he's saying, I'm going to play this game on my terms, not yours. Easy there to just set them up again.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting. Didn't want to almost acquiesce to Mark's wishes. Yeah, you might be the master of brinkmanship and all that, but I think I can get the better of you, pal. We'll find out in a minute. Don't think Stephen will agree, but it was nice to get a few safety shots. Just take this thing out of the match. It's been a breathless start.
Well, I don't think Mark Selby's going to be doing much other than this. So the issue hasn't really changed, does it? That red is still there.
Yeah, I think it's also been very good refereeing so far by Tatiana. She's just waiting
Start again? Judd?
and yeah, now she's just asking the question. She's sort of letting the frame breathe as much as she can, but at some stage, obviously, she has to step in.
Yeah, it feels now, because Trump's refused the re-rack, Selby's determined there's going to be one. It's all part of it, isn't it? It's a highly psychological game. Who's got the real supremacy here in this little standoff? But equally now Trump's got to kind of dig in, hasn't he, and almost ensure there isn't one. I don't know how he's going to do that, though. He went for that double earlier. That might have been an answer. He's a determined old soul, isn't he, Mark? Dead weight. He knows what he's doing, doesn't he? It's not his first rodeo, this. People shouted re-wrap from the crowd.
Touching balls.
Yeah, touching both reds has been declared. Of course, it's normally quite easy to get cover, but of course he's 2 reds to cover. No problem covering the one near the corner. It's more the one near right centre that's the tricky one. Yeah. Not certain to get it. But made a good job of it.
Touch and ball.
Okay, now this is risky if he's playing the cue ball in between yellow-brown. Twice across, he's going to leave the red. So the stalemate is over. it's a tough look, this shot. I mean, the pot's difficult. You've got to try as best you can not to think about the cue ball. There's not that much you can do about it. It's going to contact the reds. Yeah, it was so tricky, that.
So Judd Trump's decision not to accept the re-rack surely vindicated. On another day, of course, Selby bots the red, but not today. So 10.5 minutes of stalemate broken.
One.
I just thought that was all very interesting, just from the psychological standpoint of the final. And Judd Trump, he stood his ground. He's got the reward.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17.
What we can say, and I know it's only frame 4, but
22.
Trump's playing his best snooker of the tournament here in the final.
23.
It's not that he's played badly along the way, but not to the level we're used to seeing, and indeed he expects of himself. But we saw right from the first chance in frame 1, he made the century, a good 73 in the last frame, and now a golden chance for 3-1.
28. 29. 36. 37. 44. 45.
Yeah, when he's in stroke and anywhere near his best, this is the bread and butter. In stroke, you can't see him faltering.
52.
Nearly there.
53.
Yeah, frame ball coming up, and also, you know, at times his cue ball can roam a bit. He's been really under control here in this final. So he won the little psychological standoff there, and with this black, he's going to win the frame. What a great start to the final, all round.
60. 61. 68. 69.
Yeah, you called it correctly, David. Because his cue ball has been so good,
76.
he's been able to play a series of shots and quickly as usual.
77.
And because of that, the confidence builds and builds. Hasn't had to play too many difficult shots yet, not in amongst them anyway.
Yeah, it feels like he's been waiting this
84.
season for a really good performance, and it's like the dam has burst here.
85.
Still early days, but the signs, if you're a Judd Trump supporter, are really good, aren't they? In live plays, 98% on the pot success.
92. 93.
So he began with a century, and with this black, he will go to the interval with another one. It's advantage Judd Trump at the first interval
100.
of the Champion of Champions final. Let's not forget Mark Selby made a century in frame 2. He's not done a lot wrong here.
102. 105.
We've seen so many great finals here on ITV over the years, and already this is building up to be
109.
another one. And we know, of course, because we've seen it before, Mark Selby will have plenty to say yet in response.
$114.
Judd Trump didn't want to re-rack. He was vindicated. He's on top at the first interval. He's made 2 centuries. Mark Selby's had 1 himself. It's Trump 3, Selby 1.
Champion of Champions final. Take a look at these match stats. 98% live pot success. He's missed just one shot in open play here. 17 seconds average shot time. 311 points scored in contrast to Mark Selby, who really hasn't done much wrong and racked up his own century in that second frame. But it's 3-1 at the mid-session interval. Ken and Stephen, well, what do we make of that? We gave it the big build-up, and it certainly lived up to expectations. Quality stuff from both players, Stephen.
Yeah, excellent. One of the stats there that's most impressive to me, 97% positional success, both players. When they get in, the cue ball's on a string. But as far as Judd Trump's, because I've not seen all of his snooker this season, but it's the best I've seen him play this season.
Yes.
I thought he started this unbelievably sharp.
Yeah,
Looks fantastic.
Super stuff, Ken. And from both players, let's be honest.
Absolutely, yeah. Blistering pace. We sort of, after the semi-finals, we expected it to go up a couple of notches, but it has done quite considerably. I mean, Judd Trump started off with a beautiful red into the middle pocket here, got nicely on the black, and he was up and running. But yeah, the only thing... The only worst thing about Judd Trump is his long ball game still isn't the way it used to be, but his positional play, his break building, look at that for a beautiful shot. Nicely, just didn't hit it too hard, and here's another lovely shot off a couple of cushions, back up, positional play again. Absolutely pristine.
He does look very sharp. Looks up for it. I said at the top of the show that maybe the fact he's playing Selby in his hometown maybe gives him a little bit extra spice to sort of to beat Selby. This was a beautiful shot from Mark, wasn't it? Just to nudge that red away from the black spot. Yeah, beautiful. And that set him up nicely, didn't it? Opened the black up. And he spots a plant in here and goes on to make a century himself. I mean, it's a blistering pace from both players. Great start to the final. And that's exactly what you want, isn't it? I mean, here's another lovely shot. Deep screw, just splitting the pack up nicely. And, yeah, great response from Mark Selby. They both get excellent work out of the cue ball. I mean, the striking has been pristine, if you like, the cue ball control. And it's top players do relax into the a final. That's probably the only sort of unforced error there's been. Real easy misses been in the session. Shots like that are going to prove really costly in this final. Little mistakes like missing blacks off a spot.
Average shot frame of 12 minutes. It would have been much lower than that, but for that fourth frame, it got a little bit sticky, Stephen.
Yeah, it was a sort of it was one of those situations where we were obviously watching the green room. Mark said to Judd, "Do you want a re-rack?" Judd's pied him completely. Said no, as is his right. And in the end, it was Mark that let Judd in. You think that sort of frame would suit Mark
Selby.
more than Judd, but Judd turned it down, and Judd played the sort of the aggressive shot to try and break the impasse, if you like.
I just wonder, was it a little bit of reverse psychology? I mean, it worked out in the end. Max Selby was forced into going for that, and then left everything then for Judd, and another century was inbound. But I think that little situation was a little bit of reverse psychology, because you'd expect Judd to want the game to flow a little bit more open. Selby want to try and break it down, but Judd said no. Let's just keep it tight, and quite unusual,
Well, look, 3 centuries in the first 4 frames of the final. Can they sustain it? Well, after the break, we'll bring you the last 5 frames of the afternoon session, and it's the world #1 who leads by 3 frames to 1. The company of Neil Foulds and Phil Yates.
The players back in. Judd Trump will be feeling really good, not just about the scoreline. That's one thing.
Frame 5. Judd Trump to
But
break.
I think the manner in which it was achieved. In all of their meetings, he's traditionally outscored Selby when it comes to centuries. With the two he's made so far, that's 29 centuries he's made against Selby. Selby's made 13 against him. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee victories. Twice, Trump has made a 147 against Selby and lost the match. Neil, you and I have covered an awful lot of tournaments over the years. This one has been notable for the large amount of very quick frames. And we saw 3 of them before the interval.
Yeah, I guess the standard of play from the start, the name of the tournament, Champion of Champions, tells you that, although Judd not happy with that nudge on the yellow, which leaves hand on table. Unforced mistake for a man that's waited a long time for this chance to pot one. Always too thin, so still the wait continues. Approaching half an hour of playing time since he potted one. Well, as ever, a very good follow-up shot from Selby. Yes, he's left a red that's hittable, but very hard to stop him playing good shots, Selby, when it comes to the tactical and safety side of the game. I mean, Judd's got a shot at this red. I mean, I don't know if he'd fancy trying to pot it, but we've seen that, as Ken Doherty mentioned in the studio, that his long game might be the one side of his game that still isn't quite firing. So playing safe here instead, but not getting safe.
Yeah, the side applied to the cue ball reduced the risk of a double kiss, but it took the white into the bump of the middle.
One.
Highest available, this is the green spot, pink spot, of course,
7.
occupied. Half decent chance, although that red potted into the thick side of the pocket, top jaw, means he's not really got an angle on this blue. But it is a good chance, you know, to get around the black spot where the balls are. It's not as difficult as all that. Although he wanted to screw back a little further than this. So now he is heading towards the 2 reds and the black in playing this shot.
Mark Selby, 13.
Too much cannon, which he got pretty well, and not enough of the pot. There's divided concentration for you. He's not really close to the pot, was he? Seeing it back.
One.
There's a vast body of evidence to suggest that intervals don't just change matches, they change sessions. So Trump will be very aware it's important for him to maintain momentum.
It's a good shot, that was. Better than it looked, I think. Just to weave the cue ball through all those colours up there was enough of an obstacle in the way of getting on the red, but he played it beautifully with great belief that he was going to
7.
slip through the gaps.
$14. 15. 22. 23.
He certainly hoped for a little bit more than that to come out of the bunch, just 1 red. I think he thought he might just scatter 2 or 3 out in open play. So, no guarantees this break is going to go a lot further. The red's barely moved. Not quite sure how he did play it, but it certainly
29.
wasn't as it turned out. He tried to stun run through and leave himself the red into the right corner. Got no real shot here. Might be able to just screw him behind yellow and green off the left cushion.
Judd Trump, 29.
Good effort. But he has left a red out, so this frame is anybody's. Selby really could do with it. To fall further behind against an informed Judd Trump would be a concern.
Indeed, and it was missing a red from lengthy distance to this pocket that cost him in the previous frame, the 4th. Content to contain.
This looks like a good shot, depending on whether he can just get through. I don't think he can to the red out in open play. In line with the shot. So he doesn't have an easy pot on, if he has a pot at all. That was a better safety shot, maybe, than it appeared. Of course, someone as good as Mark Selby in the tactical department, quite a bit of trouble here. He can get to the right-hand red, he might as well have a little dart at it, but of course, you know, should you miss, then you just don't know where the balls that you miss are going to end up. That becomes out of your control. Brilliantly played, actually. Brilliantly played. Thought he might drop it in, but that was a much more authoritative decision.
Yeah, after arguably the shot of the match so far, the black was no
8.
bargain. And this is not from mid-distance a gimme either.
No, it was well played though, Phil, because the red just above the cue ball was kind of a possibility to get snookered behind. He really did steer that cue ball down nicely. Great shot. Those two shots in this break, those two reds, could easily inspire him.
$16. $17.
Yeah, confidence flows from two things, outcomes, but also feel-good technical vibes. And when you knock in a trio of shots like that to start a break, it is
24.
bound to boost the spirits.
$25. $32. $33. $40. $41.
Yes, just a brush on those two reds, which brings them both very much in the far end line now. Choice of reds to left middle, so from a terrific opening red, a chance to win the frame,
48.
which would be very satisfying, but he still has a little bit more to do. Red, colour red.
$49. $56.
Judd Trump was involved in the greatest ever Champion of Champions final in 2019 when he lost to Neil Robertson 10-9. The two of them combined
57.
for 8 centuries. The way this match is going, that 2019 climax could have a challenger. Great stuff so far.
$64.
Yes, no century on 99 is what he can make here, but it would be as good a break as a century. Wherever it finishes from now, really needed this frame. Judd did get in. He didn't quite
65.
have a clear-cut chance when he got in. He just kind of gradually got further out of position.
No position
70.
obtained, but so what?
Mark Selby 70 and the frame.
Judd Trump remains in his chair. He knows that frame is a lost cause. Mark Selby pulls back to within 1. Trump's lead reduced to 3-2. Mark Selby
Thank you, frame
and
6.
Judd Trump are well
Mark
used to
Selby
having
for-
their name in lights. It's remarkable, given the stature of the two players involved today, that this is only their second meeting in a final.
Another absolutely magnificent long pot, and he got a reasonable nudge on the yellow. But what a pot! I mean, they're both knocking in long pots now. We've said earlier that Judd's long game has not been up to what it used to be or has been, but wow, that was some pot. Hand on the cushion rail, play with pace. Still got to play a good shot to get from yellow to red. He's got to force this. Pretty good effort that. He's not perfectly behind the red, but he couldn't be sure of anything there. But he did hit it nicely.
Judd Trump, 3.
Before that, Trump had a 97% pot success rate in the match. So, a little surprising.
Well, it's unclear as to whether he can just graze an edge, but Mark Selby just tapped the table in suggestion that he can't get to them. I don't think he'd use a little bit of left-hand side, or whether any of that red is sticking out at all. No, playing off cushions here. The two cushion glance, sometimes missed first time, but not by Mark. Very good. Special to get that shot first visit. As I say, often the player will almost dip the toe in the water and go the other way, just miss it and get the line for their second attempt. But not there.
Never been anyone consistently better at escaping from snookers with such extraordinary precision.
No, I think I'd have to agree with what you just said there. I mean, I really haven't seen anybody hit snookers in the way that Selby does, and he's just not hitting them. He seems to be able to sort of know which side of the ball he's going to hit off multiple cushions. Unbelievable. Most players just happy to hit it in any way they can. Not dissimilar to the one that Mark Selby crunched in the previous frame and won the frame from it. It's a big mistake. What a chance for Selby.
What do you want in a chance? Well, you want the reds to be pre-opened. You don't want balls near a cushion. Well, there's one near a cushion, but it is the top cushion, which is workable. You also want all the colours nicely located. That box is ticked as well,
6.
including the three highest value colours. You will not get a better opportunity than this.
Seven. $14. 15.
Gradually, if he can get those two reds away that are below and to the left of the black, he'll clear the decks for the black to both pockets. And then a good chance becomes a definite frame winner.
$22. 23.
Yes, now the red directly below the cue ball here, and the decks are completely cleared. So Judd missing a long red. He knocked in a terrific one earlier in the frame, but the one that he missed, is what I say, you know, you miss
30.
the ball, you don't have any control over where the balls are going to finish.
31.
Yes, I mean, this was the problem. This was the one he missed earlier in the
38.
frame, which he'd been disappointed by, but he actually missed another one after that.
$39.
Nice minor recovery there. I think this one, it was
46.
more damaging than the previous. We've shown you two misses here. This one, the red just careers into the bunch. All control of the table is lost. And someone as good as Mark Selby behind you, you know that you might be sitting in that chair for a while.
$47.
Selby is a formidable scorer. He's made more centuries this season than Trump, 29 to 28, including today's efforts. And I can't help but think one of the great moments on ITV Snooker was when Ronnie O'Sullivan made his 1000th century in pro competition. Well, that
55.
landmark is coming for Mark Selby. Doubted very much it would be this season, but certainly it might arrive next season.
Yes, I mean, who could forget that evening? What a night at the Guildhall, Preston, when he made his 1000th. It was the last frame ever played
62.
there, and goodness, there were lots of frames, lots of matches played there over many years when the game was getting bigger and bigger. They've never played there since. It closed down for a while, that venue. What a frame to end with.
63.
Anyway, so 67 will be the difference. He'll be just hunting out a further red. Very solidly played. Comments were made.
70.
Stephen Hendry pointed out the positional success, but there's an immaculate positional shot again.
71.
Very good indeed, this.
$77. 78.
'Some standard, isn't it? I mean, there's another frame with a break over 70 made in it. Every one of them has had that.
83.
I mean, there's no reason to believe it couldn't be another century. Either way, the standard is out of the top draw here.
84.
Yeah, replicating what happened in their only other final. 2011 China Open in Beijing. We know Trump won
91.
10-8. The two of them combined for 6 centuries that day, 3 each.
92. 99. 99.
Just denied.
The frame.
3 figures. But Mark Selby, since the interval, has to be delighted with the way things have gone. All square. Six frames played, and they have been shared just how we like it.
Judd Trump to break.
It's been magnificent stuff at the Mattioli so far, and no reason to believe it won't continue.
Yes, I mean, when he does get shots wrong, he seems to hit them too thin. I mean, it's a bad break-off to hit the blue, but he actually missed the blue on the thin side. So it's even worse than hitting the blue as far as the accuracy of that last shot is concerned. The early frames from Judd today were outstanding. The best I've seen him since he's changed his cue. But I'll say it again, just the odd shot here or there, he looks a little bit unsure of. Just the odd shot, not many. That you might attribute to the equipment rather than sort of, you know, his own judgment of the shot. Just the odd ball he's overcut. We saw one on replay in that last frame to left corner. Hit too thin. Break off again here. In between that, there's some seriously good stuff. But at this level, one shot can make the world of difference.
Almost a very nice kiss off the brown in behind the green. Almost.
Yeah, I'm behind the line of it. I think he can just about get to reds on the right. But even if he can, it's not an easy shot. Tatiana Wollaston looking down the line because she might need to replace balls, I guess. Should there be a miss? He's in a bit more trouble there, I think, than it first appeared. A little hesitant on that shot. See, I think he played it as hoping not to do any damage, but I think he's done plenty of damage. He's freed the black and everything. A lot depends, of course, if he can get to the first red, which it turns out more by luck than judgment. I don't think he can. A close shave.
Because they've had so much quality table time, both of them. Average shot time is 19 for Trump, 21 for Selby. But of course, certain shots require greater thought. As it stands at the moment, not dissimilar to the previous frame. Any mistake could prove costly.
Well, he's faced with a possible pot to left corner, but it's, well, I mean, it's difficult. Hard to think he could get out without leaving something. But the rewards are there if this drops. Opted against it. Can't argue, can you, with that shot? He's kind of looking up as if he's very relieved. I suppose the problem was a red could have come down there. The cue ball was well guided. I don't think he should be too guilty about that shot. I think it was pretty well played. He looks as if say that could have been horrible.
We've praised Selby's ability to get out of snookers so well. Trump is no slouch either.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it couldn't possibly reach, but it actually got a little closer than I first expected. Does anything pop? If not, the balls will be replaced. A miss has been called, obviously.
Yeah, while Tatiana's putting the cue ball back in its exact position, I think it's only appropriate to congratulate all of the referees this week. Tatiana Wollaston, Marcel Eckhart and John Pillow. I think they did a great job from day one.
Oh, 2 millimeters towards Judd.
There's Marcel, the marker today.
Yeah, okay, Mark, thank you.
It looked a bit of a carbon copy of the first one, didn't it?
A miss. Mark Selby 4.
So I'll be coming around to have a little look at this. Yeah, going back though. I don't think these penalty points each time mean a great deal. I mean, obviously, at the end of the frame, if it goes to the black, perhaps they would, but you know, for now, he'd give away 3 or 4-point penalties just to make sure in the end he got the shot right and didn't leave one. You never know that
Mark. Thank you.
It might count for something. We've been playing nearly 10 minutes and all we've got is fouls of 8 points on the board. Is this reaching?
Foul.
No.
Miss.
Tatiana was
Mark
absolutely
Selby
on
4.
top there of that cue ball.
Okay, Mark.
Well, it was a little nod from Tatiana over to Mark Selby to say, yep, this time contact was made. Didn't see a lot of it, but clearly it reached.
Touch and ball.
Now with 2 reds up in the bottom half of the table, one close to the baulk line. This could be interesting.
Yeah, it's just that you get touching ball, you feel obliged to do something positive with it, don't you? I'm not sure he can. There's no way he wanted to play that shot, I can tell you that now. Because you get touching ball, you'd like to think you can steer the cue ball out of there, but he couldn't. I saw Judd look over at Mark there as if to say any chance of a re-rack. But of course earlier on it was the other way round. This might have to be a re-rack. This is going nowhere. Fast, or slowly in fact.
Tell you one thing, if Judd does suggest it, even if Mark agrees, he will make a joke of it. He's the jester after all.
Now, can he get up the table from this side? Just to avert any stalemate. It's risky. Very risky playing it.
A whole series of frames in this tournament have been played quicker than this. This frame, well, we haven't seen a ball potted yet. But the first one that goes in might yield an awful lot of points. The last two shots have seen two balls go really awkward. The red close to the left-hand side cushion that Selby's now pointing at. The shot before that, the black went out of commission.
Yes, I mean, your eyes are drawn to where the black is, and you think, how on earth is that ever going to be brought back into play? It's completely buried, isn't it? The red next to it, as Phil said also.
Yeah, and I think worth saying the pink also pretty much out of the equation for now. When you're playing safe, you hate the cue ball hitting the far jaw of the middle pocket. There, what a benefit. So 16 minutes of play without a ball being potted. punctuated by an excellent one from Selby.
Yeah, and as you say, it's not great, is it, where the balls are? He might have to get the blue on its spot if he can, as early as he possibly is able to. At least he's got something to go at then of some value.
Five.
A little bit straight on it for getting back for a red. Yes, that red I don't think is into a full enough pocket. The red below it might be. I think that's the one he might look at. There's one to the right corner as well.
Nothing coming easy in this break. What has been easy for Mark Selby in this tournament, potting with the rest. He hasn't missed one. 28 out of 28. Already the lengthiest frame of the match, and numerous reds remain.
Yeah, badly wanted to avoid that. Sort of a kiss. He wanted to just miss all the reds and be up for a colour. So things have just unravelled a bit now. He's tried to sidestep that red.
Yellow ball. Mark Selby, 16.
Both well conceived and well executed.
Well, Mark Selby 4.
A little unlucky in a frame like this where the two high value colours are out of the reckoning. All points gratefully accepted.
Well, it hasn't exactly opened things up, has it? Putting the pink over there. Not that Selby particularly wants to, of course. 32 points may not be a lot, but it's something to try and protect, I suppose. That's a great shot, though.
1.
There was always a path back down the table, I think, was the appeal of that shot.
Judd Trump 1.
And now we're seeing the man who's an absolute master at getting out of snookers in. Quite a difficult one, although, of course, plenty of reds to hit. That was Trump's first pot for 36 minutes of playing time.
Well, no miss. Judd Trump 4.
There's knock-on effects when colours are safe. Yes, he's left the red across the top cushion, but how did Trump get out for the next ball?
Yeah, what I could see.
Marcel, can you bring it up, please? Okay. Okay.
Looks pretty much like this on the screen, so I can't tell.
Okay, so we can't see the difference on there, but do you think slightly further away? If we...
I mean, I'm playing.
Well, you were close. Anyway, you were close to the brown first time round. Because I was watching it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Judd, thank you.
Well, it's a horrible shot, but he has He's looking at the pot. It's not a particularly nice shot, but he had an angle to get up for the blue. He decided against it. Can't blame him. It's a deeply unpleasant sort of shot to play, but that was even worse. He may as well have gone for it now.
Not just the lengthiest, but the scrappiest frame of the final so far, but they all count just the same.
One.
Well, that was a very positive attempt to make something happen there. Actually looking to see if the black went, that would have been something. It certainly doesn't. But all credit to Trump there. He just tried to engineer a way of opening balls up.
Brown ball. Judd Trump, 1. Thank you.
Could this be the same as the Robertson-Selby semi-final? The first 6 frames flew by. The next 2 lasted 63 minutes and 45 minutes respectively. Can't imagine a marathon of quite that duration here.
Yeah, thank you. Foul in a miss. Judd Trump, 4.
Only 6 frames in this tournament that have lasted half an hour. Selby's been involved in 4 of them.
Well, you can't now. Have a look.
And talking of half an hour,
Judd, okay.
that has now been reached.
He's trying to hit the top side of that red above the pink, and he got mighty close first time to doing that. But this time the over-adjustment has left a chance, so it's not an easy one still with the black there and the pink kind of out in open play, but not really easy to pot. But there's been a lot of toing and froing in this frame without a great deal of points being scored. Can Judd just turn that around here? Don't know where his colour is coming from, quite honestly. Unless he can screw across to the black and take a risk. Oh, that would just come out of there somewhere. Hidden hope. Ooh. Well, the black's absolutely buried now.
Brown ball. Judd Trump, 1.
Yeah, the black there threatened to poke its nose out. Had it done so, the whole complexion of the frame would have been radically different. And although it didn't seem a lot, I think Trump's safety has been pretty effective.
It's not really his sort of frame. I mean, I can't think there's too many players that would like a frame like this, but maybe Mark Selby is one that will tolerate it better than Judd Trump or almost the whole entirety of the main tour. Balls occasionally go awkwardly and there's not much you can do. Usually after a prolonged bout of safety, which we've seen here.
Foul. Nimis. Judd Trump, 4.
Well, we both said the same thing, Phil, didn't we? That he's one of the best players out of snookers. He didn't get anywhere near hitting a red there.
Rehearsal shot. My story, I'm sticking to it.
Marcel, can you bring it up, please?
It's actually just a touch this way.
This reminded me a little bit of
the screen.
Sort of shots you'd see before the miss rule existed.
Judd,
They'd deliberately play through that gap and there'd be no miss called. It was nowhere near a red. This time he hopes to do better. It's been replaced.
Foul. Nimis. Judd Trump, 4.
Well, the other thing to say here, he's got a clear shot at the red, so he won't be playing that shot again because he's going to get warned.
Mark, how's that? Okay. Judd, okay. I have to give you a warning. Call miss for a 3rd time, you lose the frame.
He's got to hit one, as you heard. Because he can see reds directly. And we do occasionally see frames won and lost it like this on the 3 strikes rule. I'm sure it won't happen here. But they do sometimes... there are instances of players who have done that. Still not ahead of it on the 3rd attempt. Oh, he's going deep into the cue ball here, goodness me. Well, he's got a lot of cue power, but he had no real answers to that one. Goodness, the pink and black are absolutely horrendously placed now. That's where he got lucky there, not so much anything else, but the pink going there. Judge walks to the table saying, well, where do I start on all this? The absolute table is carnage.
I know that Selby is from Leicester, but if Trump cleared up here, they should give him the freedom of the city.
One.
It's the beauty of snooker, isn't it? We see 147s, see like quick frames, and then you get something like this. Absolute dog's dinner.
I'd like you to sit on the fence, Neil.
No, it's just that the configuration of the balls. Listen, how often would you see the pink and black in there, buried away in there like that? They all count, though, don't they? You know. I wonder, could he possibly play off the red, not pot the red directly off the other red or the pink and open it all up that way? I don't really think he wants to play that shot, but it could certainly open the balls up. I think he'll have to go up the table for now.
Six.
Now he's finished a bit straight on the blue. So now getting to a red's not easy even from the blue. Got to force it again. Oh my goodness.
Judd Trump, 6. Mark Selby, 5.
And of course, that's a 10-point swing, which in a low-scoring frame hurts.
I think the look on Judd's face there said everything, didn't it? Didn't give much away. Looked thoroughly fed up with this frame. Now, what is he looking at here? Did you think that pink onto red onto black could open them all up, or what? Don't know what he's thinking. Well, it's a good shot anyway.
Forty minutes and counting.
Well, Nimis. Judd Trump, 4.
Given where the balls still are, I would hazard an educated guess that this frame will last longer than the first 4 combined.
Mark. Judd, thank you.
Now here, once again, I wonder if he'll think about this. He could play the red off the other red and open everything up. I mean, I'm not saying it's a nice shot to play, but his patience could be running out here. That's what he's tried. Of the two players, Mark Selby is happier in this sort of frame. He doesn't care how long it takes. You better get the feeling he almost relishes this.
Selby looking interested. Is there room past the black? I believe there is.
One.
It's actually a pretty wide target of balls here to cannon into. Reds, that is, of course, from this blue. Yeah, very well done. Very well done. That might be the one move in the frame that we've become waiting a long time for. Did hit this nicely, and he managed to spread reds around. So the deadlock in that corner of the table is broken.
Seven.
Also well played. There's some kind of force field in that left corner of the pocket for much of this frame. It seems to now has been taken away. It's a 15-point lead, but it feels like quite big in the context of a frame like this.
Ten.
Now Selby looking at that shot that Judd, or similar to the one Judd attempted, where he, instead of potting the red directly, he pots it off the edge of the black. Didn't work out for Trump. Very cleverly
11.
done. Very cleverly done. It didn't look much, but it was well thought out. I can think of players who might have played that with a degree more pace.
He has won the World 8-Ball Pool Championship in the past. That's the game played on small
80.
tables in pubs. And that kind of shot, that's what you encounter often. Enterprising, clever.
Spider. Thank you. 19.
Blue, I don't think, goes to left corner. The red's in the way. So again, we've not quite got to the final chapter of this frame, I don't think. Gonna have to play another good shot. Just thinking what you said there about him being an 8-ball world champion once. Imagine walking into a pub in Leicester and say, I'll challenge anybody, and he happens to be in the pub. You'd be a bit unlucky, wouldn't you? He's world champion, he's been. You do get people doing that. Winner stays on or something. Be on the table forever.
Quite often he is.
22.
Excellent stuff from Selby, this. Granite, and keeping that 100% record with the rest intact, potting these pressure balls, and now this is frame ball. I think it's been a masterful frame. Not spectacular, but masterful from Selby.
Yes, you're going to win it, and it's kind of significant, isn't it, that it's putting him in front in the match. So he doesn't care about the sort of frame it is, and of course they're playing for their livelihoods. You know frames are going to be won quickly,
38.
and others are going to be like this. But when they are like this man normally wins them.
40.
If he clears up here, it would be a 65 break. You look back on this frame
40.
in 20 years' time and think, well, just a routine kind of thing. Most certainly not.
47. $52. $58. 65 in the frame. Mark Selby.
Mark Selby showing both aspects of his formidable game. He's won 3 in succession. No time. Since the interval, though, it's been all Mark Selby. Runs of 70, 99, and then the epic 7th frame.
Thank you. Frame 8. Mark Selby to break.
So 2 more left.
Take your seats, please.
This afternoon. Trump could still lead going into the concluding session, but if Selby were to win the next 2, at 6-3 he'd be sitting pretty.
Yes, of course, this is where the longer format of the game, 2 sessions, first to 10, you know, you've got to really find a little bit. You know, his best of 7s are over very quickly, very often, but now you think about the situation. You know, Judd's been worn down in that previous frame. 50 minutes all bar 4 seconds. Now he's got to pull something out of the wreckage almost here against that man. Can't afford to lose these 2, as you say. And this is why the World Championships over 2.5 weeks is a big deal, isn't it? You're not always going to find it easy. You're going to have bad sessions. It's what you can retrieve from a bad session and that counts. And right now, as you say, Trump needs to win one of these, at least. I think the sting has been taken out of the match, hasn't it? I mean, we saw all those breaks taking us to 3-all. Now it's more all about the tactical side. No doubt that at the moment that Mark Selby's got Judd Trump in the long grass, keeping him up that end of the table for long periods, which is what match snooker is all about. It's a good reply. Very good.
A rare Selby misjudgment. But the second kiss could have been a lot more damaging than it was.
He's looked at the 2 reds. They're not set as a plant. Not dead set, anyway. There's a gap between the reds, but you'd have to hit the first red very thin in contact to make it into a plant. That's an even better option. As I say, the plant was not quite there.
Judd Trump, 1.
Well played roll-up, that. Of course, the closer you can get to the yellow, the better. But by really nestling in behind it, you take the risk of not reaching it.
Very cleverly played, but has he left anything at all? The left middle is horrible. Seemed very confident that he could execute that shot at the first attempt there, Selby.
Thank you.
Well, that could have been a lot worse. Then maybe a red up into the yellow pocket. And I think with the cue ball away from the cushion slightly, Trump could go for this. Hold for the black. It's not easy after all that time away from the table. It was a great chance though, had it gone in.
When you get this kind of safety battle, the Reds, yes, they tend to spread far and wide, but sometimes the table can become awkward. And we know all about that after frame 7.
One.
Well, that helps in the sense he can get the snooker in behind the black.
Judd Trump, 1.
Trump getting them in ones at the moment. You've got to be careful here, obviously, Mark Selby, on this shot. I mean, there might be a shot to drop into the right side of the bunch. But if you're too heavy-handed, which he wouldn't normally be, of course, he could leave plenty on.
The in-off would be cruel. Oh, just avoided.
He's very good at that shot, isn't he? As you say, the in-off would have been unfortunate, but it's what I was saying earlier. You know, he gets out of a snooker and he knows which side of the ball he's going to hit. Some people are just pleased to hit the ball on. Yeah, unlike the previous frame, though, that it's quite an inviting table if the chance comes. I mean, in the previous frame, even when the chances did come, the table was completely locked down. Well, he's left that red up the table here. It's a long way from A to B. But of course he's playing it. What an opportunity now, which he has done well to receive and he's waited for. He's got Judd Trump completely becalmed. And now, of course, he's got the opportunity to, from 3-1 down, take some sort of a lead into tonight by winning this frame. What a chance it is.
6.
Yes, in potting that red, the little rub off the yellow really helped. Selby was saying last night, after beating Robertson in the semi-final, that he felt very close to his best. The one negative he felt was that when he got momentum, sometimes he wasn't able to sustain it for a lengthy period. Well, he can put that to rights in this frame and the
12.
next.
$13.
Basically, Selby was saying he's playing well in patches.
$19. $20.
Yes, I mean, that nudge has not done much for those two reds. He's actually tied them up a little more. But there are plenty of other options, it seems. One thing about this game, which it's always been difficult, however good a player is, you know, a long, prolonged bout of safety and tactical
27.
play, and then you get a good chance. Sometimes you're just not quite in sync with it. You're thinking defensively and tactically. But with Selby, he seems to be able to overcome that. So many players over the years
28.
I've seen, you know, a long battle and then the chance comes, they've just not got that same edge. He's always been the consummate match player. Yes, he doesn't win every week. In fact, of course, he's not won yet this season. But
33.
you know, you always know he's going to be there or thereabouts with his game. Always takes a good
34.
one to get on the right side of him. Plays every shot as if it might be his last, you know. Even the smallest safety shot, he gives everything to. He's always done that.
Yeah, that's why he's attempting
38.
today to win his 41st professional title, competing in his 67th final.
$39.
In a snooker season, Neil, so often in the past, multiple winners have piled up. Not this season.
Now, we put that graphic up the other day about how we've had a different winner to every tournament, and these two players were not on the list. So again, the run continues
43.
of a trophy being lifted by either Judd or Mark Selby, have not won yet this season.
$44. Yeah. 49.
Well, I think that's what he played. He'd gone very close to the two reds, but I can't think that he would have played to cannon those without the element of control. You see someone
50.
like Selby and you think, well, who does he compare to? A lot of people say he's John Higgins. I actually think a little bit of a Steve Davis player. Because Steve, as he got older, and he still remained a top player, he had all this to his game. You know, he could put you in the world of trouble
55.
and then score. You know, he wasn't all about playing quickly and big breaks. When he was a youngster, yes. So there's a bit of Davis in him for me.
$56.
Used all of the pockets. He's now 54 ahead. 51 on. So another frame should be falling towards the local hero. Those two reds stubbornly stuck together,
59.
but not anymore.
$60.
Big stakes today. £150,000 the first prize. Of course, a place in next year's Champion of Champions locked up early. And for Selby, the extra incentive of triumphing on home
63.
soil. He's won at the Mattioli Arena 3 times before, a couple of championship leagues and the WST Classic, but this is a whole new league.
$64. Mark Selby, 64.
Excellent stuff from Mark Selby, winning a safety battle and then putting together a decisive break. 4 on the spin, 5-3.
Thank you.
So often
Final
in
time
two
of the
session
session.
finals
Judd
on
Trump
the
for-
snooker tour, the closing frame of the first session turns out to be really important. You can't escape the feeling that will be the case here. If Judd Trump can arrest his slide and win it, 5-4 down, not too bad. 6-3 would be a cause for big concern.
Well, you can see the dominance of Selby since the mid-session interval. We know that mid-sessions can change the course of a match. It's absolutely been the case here. Oh, what a shot that is. Goodness me. There's nothing defensive or tactical about that. It was just a brilliant shot. I mean, he's worked his magic, hasn't he, on this match? He really has. There was a very awkward frame, as we explained at the time, lasting 50 minutes, but he's given Trump hardly anything worthwhile to go at. He wants there to be a red to left middle here. Slight misjudgment, that.
8. Nine.
Stayed down on it, wasn't certain. This is a big moment, isn't it? The chance to open up a good lead. This last frame of the session. It's not just any old frame, it seems quite an important one.
Thought it was a really good camera angle on the previous red to middle, just
16.
illustrating how narrow the pocket entrance was. Really good pot from Selby, who seems to be oozing confidence.
17.
He never got hold of that one.
24.
He wanted the cue ball considerably further across to have a choice of reds. Beautifully played.
25.
Beautifully played. That long backswing. Not making it easy to play a delicate shot of that nature, but he executed it beautifully. I don't know if he's got anything to
32.
right corner, but that shot deserved a better fate, I think, than it's been received with. Is there a plant? 3 red plant?
There's a hint that the red in question might be heading towards the near jaw, the left-hand jaw as we're looking.
I think the fact that he's looking up the table as if he agrees with that, Phil, because he's not going to go for it. He probably was unlucky there, I think. I thought he played the shot on the black ever so well without getting a red to follow it. He's back on the plant, but I kind of think the way you do, Phil, it didn't look quite right, did it? To be honest, he's the best at this sort of shot there is in the game. And he's making all kinds of measurements there, isn't he?
I think it's an indication of his confidence. He wants to stay at the table for as long as possible. And he's desperate to continue this break.
Well, he didn't like the look of the safety shot, but well, he's, as you mentioned, he plays Paul to a high level. He's playing a different sort of a plant this time. The other 2 reds wasn't on, was it?
Mark
Wasn't
Selby,
there. I don't think he expected to leave anything, which doesn't appear that he has, but he just hit a ball on the way through. It hit the red in the middle of the 3, so it basically did not pass the other red. How patient will Judd be? The re-rack's not happening with a 32-point lead unless it becomes unavoidable. But is he going to take a gamble? Because I don't think Mark Selby will. Risking leaving that on. Again, making measurements, he's thinking, well, if I put the cue ball there, what do I leave? Well, he's pointing his finger.
At one point, this looked like being a very swift session. Not since the interval. Things have changed immeasurably.
Well, Trump is thinking about a couple of pots. He's got the one up the table into the left corner, top left. That's horrible, but for him, it's gettable. He looked at the double, do it on the right into the left middle. I think he might have to play a safety shot. Showed patience there. It would have been understandable that he would have just said, okay, I'm going to try and get this frame one somehow by taking a shot on. Because he has been completely taken out of the equation, really. They've not had a pot of any real note for a long while.
Yeah, since the break, hasn't made a break of any significance whatsoever. Selby's shot time has gone up considerably, 26 seconds average now. And it was around the 20-second mark for the first half of the afternoon. Oh, just brilliant. Just brilliant, that pop, because the red was quite some way from the pocket. Again, he's been unlucky positionally.
The shot deserved better than the little nudge on the red. That hardly could have finished worse. Now I don't think he wants to take another red on, or another colour on rather, to play on a red. He could take on the green, but I don't think he wants to. Doesn't want to present anything back. That was very unlucky.
Yeah, he drops on a colour there, which could so easily have occurred, and 6-3 would have been beckoning.
Mark Selby 1.
Given the way things were going, that is one of the best pots you're ever likely to see. Brilliant from Trump.
Yes, absolutely. First one for 24 minutes as well. Tell you what, it'll be even better if he wins the frame off it, and what a chance he's presented himself with. Mark Selby was grinding his way out of this frame with a lead. He couldn't quite deliver the killer blow. Will that prove to be a turning point?
$16. 17.
Well, he's
24.
I think he's okay on at least one red. The red below the pink spot he would have liked to have been on. I'm not sure he can get to that one, but the red to middle, a little delicate one.
$25.
Just looking to see if the blue went into the right corner, which I don't think it does. Oh, he's playing with his opposite hand. He's got to make sure he gets this one. I mean, it's not as if he's just got to drop it in. He's got to play it with a degree of pace if he does play the green. And, of course, with his hand that he's not used to playing with, he could miss. Here we go.
And now the issue is the cue ball
28.
being uncomfortably close to the side cushion. Passing every
29.
test, Neil.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot there, dropping it in.
$36. $37.
I think in the context of any snooker match, this is, as Phil said, one of the best shots you could wish to see. He said his back to the wall, he's had nothing to go at for long periods, and he managed to pull that shot out incredibly.
If he could win the frame at this visit, it wouldn't just be the fact he's pulled one
41.
back. It would give him immense personal satisfaction, and rightly so.
$42.
Selby's known for his grit. This is grit from Trump.
48.
So the roles are slightly
49.
reversed. Mark Selby, you know, he did have 2 opportunities in this frame. The second one, he was a little unlucky. Cushion first, potted the red. He could have played the green. He wanted to close things down. He didn't know what was coming, though, did he? He got in earlier as well. So now all of a sudden, you know, the 6-3 would have been dream well for Selby.
55.
But if he loses his frame, that nagging doubt will be there that he could have done even better.
56.
Of course, at 3-1 down, 5-4 would have bitten your arm off, but he wanted more. And this is to pull a frame out of the hat
63.
from absolutely nowhere by Judd Trump. This goes in.
$64.
Almost there now, and it's one snooker, which would mean, of course, that Mark would carry on. This, to me, is a break out of the very top draw. Proper match play, but Trump has just
71.
unleashed something here quite special.
Judd Trump, 71.
Numerically, Trump's 4th highest break of the session. In terms of what it meant, it was undoubtedly the best. Superb from both this afternoon, and it tees up tonight to perfection. 5-4 Selby as they break.
The analysis is what? The first run is what? Well, what an evening we have to look forward to here in Leicester. Mark Selby won 4 frames on the bounce to go 5-3 up after trailing Judd Trump 3-1. But the world number one has taken the last frame of the session. Both players really at the top of their game today. High scoring, matching pot success there, 93%, matching safety. It's 5-4 to Mark Selby after the afternoon session. And Alan and Stephen alongside me here. A lot to talk about, a lot to enjoy there, but just how significant do you think that last frame was for Judd Trump?
Yeah, it was a very, very big frame because I thought Mark Selby played beautifully. He was awesome after the interval. He really dictated everything. And, you know, 6-3 would have been tough for Judd Trump to come back from tonight, but that last frame, starting with a long pot, was brilliant.
It's been a terrific final. Everything that you would want. The start of it, the first 4, all Hollywood. Then we had a bit of everything. Close frames, long frames, but the quality didn't dip at all. We want to get into frame 7 because that was maybe the break of the tournament. When we see eventually the mistake that Judd makes here, and we say mistake, but there's not really that much to go at, Stephen, here, is there?
Yeah, I mean, you come to the table here, you're thinking, you maybe make, I don't know, a dozen points or so. You just and just keep the momentum in the frame. But to win the frame from this visit, this is what he does unbelievable. Screwing the cue ball. I mean, look at the arc on the cue ball, the work on it.
Just watch this little shot he plays, potting a red off the black. He understands that the black won't release. Look at that. He understands it's going to stick near the pocket. That was a brilliant piece of ingenuity, and he goes on, he lifts the red off the cushion, and it was just magnificent. And at that point, I mean, we're still actually quite early in this final, but then again into frame 8, Judd makes a little bit of a mistake here, and Mark, when you're in good form, you get the red, you get the right flick, you land on the blue, and you get about your work again. Brilliant.
And you're thinking, you know, Judd Trump, at that point, he'd been in three times, he'd scored heavily with a couple of centuries. He'd be thinking, how am I going to get back to the table? That's
what I mean by how awesome Selby was. He's a genius. He totally dominated pretty much, apart from his century, first 4 frames. 3-1 down, Judd's got the momentum, he's full of confidence, and Selby somehow manages to completely wrestle the final away from Judd and dominate himself. Both players have been excellent today, but Selby's just incredible at just, you know, taking a match by the scruff of the neck, isn't he?
Stephen knows more than I do about these things, but when you're against one of the fellow legends of the game in a final and it's getting really down in the weed and you're getting to the decisive moments, Judd pots a red in this 9th frame that it's a champion shot. Not many people can pot this at the best of times. We'll see it, but Mark Selby, we think, Stephen, may have played the green here.
If he can get to the green, the way he was playing, I can't believe he's turned the green down. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he couldn't get to the green, so he decided to play safe. But that pot from Judd was just extraordinary. It really was. I mean, it's okay, he was forced into it. The black is almost as good because he's controlled the cannon beautifully. He's got the little dab aside to take the cue ball up the table. And this was, again, under pressure. You know, you missed that at 6-3. That was a huge shot.
That last frame was a match within a match. Judd would have been sat in the chair knowing, I've got to make a move here. This guy's all over me. He has been for the last hour and a half. Got to make my move. There's no outs. And he did. Brilliant.
And you get the impression the momentum will swing back and forth 2 or 3 times more over the course of this final, Stephen.
I think so. But, you know, going back to that red that Judd potted, special players come out with special moments in matches, and that was Judd's moment in that match. It really was. Look, staring 6-3 in the face, that bit of genius, that little stroke of genius may have slightly turned the final for him. You don't know at the end of the day.
Yeah, if Judd gets deep tonight and gets a chance to win, and that's all in the future, but he will look back on this late part of the afternoon, a couple of those shots,
Now, listen, we've got a partisan crowd in here because, of course, the Leicester faithful want to see Mark Selby do well. But if you're just a snooker fan, my goodness me, what a treat.
It is. It's top drawer snooker. It doesn't get much better. As Alan said, it's had everything. It's had the long frames, it's had the safety, it's had arguments over should we have a re-rack, it's had everything. It's been brilliant.
Well, talking to snooker fans, it's time for our tournament's best hot shots. Let's get to them now.
Beautiful. Wonderful shot. And perfect on the red. Excellent pot, that.
Well, that's just the both reds in both middles. One out of two ain't bad, isn't it?
The flute
blue. Oh, you bet he can. That was a gem. They're all there now.
One red Alan potted from the poor safety. Meanwhile, it's just potted an unbelievable red.
One.
Some fantastic snooker we've seen this week. And, you know, I suspect we're going to see some more hot shots as the day progresses into tonight. But let's pick out a few of them then. Alan, we'll start with yours.
Yeah, I've gone for Big Robbo. I always look for a shot that defines a match, and this was it. 4-3 in front, Neil Robertson against John Higgins in the quarter-final. John had put him up there and he thinks he's got him trapped, but Neil has other ideas. In it goes. The black just about passes the red. He goes on 5-3 in front and eventually closes it out. Worth another look. A brilliant, typical Robbo long red.
What do you make of that one?
That's quality. It really is. Normally you expect him to put him at the pace, but
normally you expect a safety shot.
No, that was. I mean, his technique's flawless, isn't it?
Yeah, great stuff. OK, Stephen, let's look at yours.
Yeah, I've gone for the Lei Pei Fan. I thought this was a lovely shot. I thought he's growing as a player, and I just thought, you know, the nice long red, you're leaving the world on should you miss it, and beautifully controlled for the position in the black. I thought it was just a really nice shot.
Very good.
Really
yeah,
good.
very
really
nice.
Good.
OK, do you want to see mine?
Please, Jill.
Let's have a look. Mine's is
here.
Mark Williams. And now I know what you're going to say when you see this. You're going to say it wasn't actually the shot that he meant to play. I don't know. I think it was absolutely meant. What do you say?
I don't think he meant to put the red in the left. I knew that he knew. Listen, he knows the cue ball's going in that direction. He wants to move that red away from the pocket. I'm not convinced, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, John.
I spoke to him in the hotel after he played that shot and he won that match, and he said he dedicated it to you, Gillsy.
There you go, there you go. It's a brilliant hot shot. We'll have a look at the rest of the guys later on. Now, listen, just to make sure you can join us for the conclusion of our final tonight, 6:45 here on ITV4. As you know, it's Mark Selby who's in action against Judd Trump, and he leads 5-4 heading into this evening's session. You don't want to miss this one. It's going to be absolutely epic. In the meantime, why not turn over to ITV1 and STV right now and watch England's final World Cup qualifier as the Three Lions take on Albania. England's run at the Under-17 World Cup continues. They are through to the last 16, where they will face Austria. You can watch that live on Tuesday afternoon from 3:30 on ITV4. Also on Tuesday, we have Brazil's friendly against Tunisia. For you to enjoy that one, you can catch the 5-time world champions in action from 7:15 on ITV4. So we're back at 6:45. Can we call it at this stage?
It's going to be close. That's all you can call.
Yeah, I hope we go deep tonight, late, 10-8, 10-9. That's what we want for the champion of champions. I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah. What we've seen so far has been top quality, and I know we're going to see more of that this evening. It's been one visit wins in all the frames we've enjoyed. OK, we'll see you at 6:45 here on ITV4 for the final of the Champion of Champions.